Media commentators believe the proposed merger of TVNZ and RNZ will be dead within weeks.
The two broadcasters have spent more than $1 million already on the new public media project, but critics say the government has failed to convince the public of its value and therefore has no choice but to scrap it. Isabel Ewing reports.
According to the government, its new public media behemoth will be legally established in just over a month. Media commentators say unlikely.
It's likely days, if not weeks, before this thing gets, put out to pasture.
The proposed new entity, ANZPM, is set to cost $327 million over 3 years, as well as $38.3 million in transition costs.
The question is going to be, is it ready enough to put forward, or are we going to can the whole thing and basically waste 2 terms of government?
More than $1 million has been spent by TVNZ and RNZ already on costs like paying consultants and backfilling for existing staff working on the project. The plan has faced flack from production companies who thought it would take away too much of their NZ On Air funding. And National has never been a fan.
It's just a mess, and so I hope the government sees fit to cancel this.
So where did it all go wrong? The government's vision for merging RNZ and TVNZ was to pool their resources to reach new audiences and adapt to changes in the media landscape. The spin-off's Duncan Grieve thinks the government failed to sell the idea to the public.
If you don't explain why, then it looks like you're spending a lot of money and time messing with RNZ and TVNZ, these two beloved brands, and they don't really know what they're going to get out of that.
Instead, Grieve says the public has begun to view the merger as an example of a government going off track.
Just to get rid of it, this relatively small thing that a lot of people are mad about, I think it's quite an easy win for the government.
Newshub understands those close to the merger are waiting for the axe to fall, saying it's got death written all over it. But say once it's scrapped, the government will have new questions to answer, like how much has this failure cost, who's made the most money from it, and what is the future for New Zealand On Air?
Personally, I think it would be a disaster for Labour if they abandon this now. But the reality is that they haven't done all their homework on this model.
Peter Thompson says a recent Select Committee report left too many questions about the merger unanswered, just 1 month out from when it was supposed to be established.
Forefront in my mind is the question of the balance between the commercial and the public service side of this new entity.
Minister Willie Jackson was not available for an interview, but a spokesman said any decision on reprioritising government policy is a matter for the Prime Minister. Isabel Ewing, Newshub.